Wonders AI is an AI-guided workspace that allows you to search millions of verified sources, organize results, and synthesize research into clear insights using precise filters and keywords. It is suitable for consultants, educators, and small businesses as an alternative to Copy.ai and Jasper. Wonders AI simplifies research by allowing you to explore and compare over 500 million sources in one workspace, organize research with interactive boards, and receive AI-suggested topics. Wonders AI lets you control your AI search with side-by-side queries, fine-tuned filters, and custom keywords. Set parameters for source type, credibility, and relevance, and choose sources for AI summaries. Collaboration made easy with tools for comments, highlights, and project supervision. Create workspaces and projects for team alignment, and utilize Wonders AI for smarter research and trend tracking. Get insights with Wonders AI. Synthesize data into shareable insights instantly. One-click AI-generated summaries with citations, highlight and annotate key points, save in Workspace, export summaries in PDF, docx, or text with citation format choice. Bid farewell to constant tab switching. With Wonders AI, you'll have a research assistant that locates credible sources, summarizes important insights, and organizes everything in one place. Discover the right facts quickly. Obtain lifetime access to Wonders AI today.
Hi, this is Joe, one of the founders of Wonders. I want to spend a few minutes showing you around so that it's easier getting started. It's probably worth saying that Wonders AI works a bit differently from other AI tools you may have used. It's not a chatbot, but an AI-guided research workspace. You will be interacting with search columns, filters, selecting topics. This gives you a level of control that you don't usually get with tools like ChatGPT or Deep Research. I hope that you'll like it because you will have full transparency as to where the information is coming from and what information is actually being searched and used. This is what we think is one of the biggest benefits of Wonders over other tools. Okay, let's get started. When you land on Wonders, it's going to look a little bit like this, although in the beginning a little emptier. But you will still see the search bar where you can insert a topic you're interested in. I'm going to look into how do we control pests in greenhouses without using pesticides. You can type your overarching research question here and hit Create Project. Wonders is going to go ahead and prepare your research board for you. What I can do in the first column is add additional context. Adding context helps fine-tune the AI search agent. It will make choices to help you find more precisely what you're looking for. Wonders then generates suggested additional topics that will help me explore this research question more holistically. So let's take a look. Pheromone-based looks interesting. That looks also interesting. Nanotechnology, haven't thought of that. I also know that predatory bugs are an interesting ways to deal with it, so I'm going to add my own research question. Okay, then I hit next and I can move on to the search columns. Wonders has created a bunch of search columns here. In each search column, I will have a summary of the most relevant papers with the ability to ask follow-up questions. Wonders will have also generated search keywords it thinks will be the best for finding specifically the right information. I can access search filters for each column, and I can see the papers that have come through for this search. My favorite workflow here is to look through the list of papers and read the summary to see if I'm getting content that seems relevant to my question. In case I don't, I might want to add additional keywords. For example, I know that IPM stands for Integrated Pest Management, so perhaps I want to drop that in. And I know that I'm really only interested in papers that came up in the last 20 years. So I will reconfigure my search, submit it again, and review the search column again. Great. I then tend to continue step by step, column by column, to get the results that I want. If I find something that's particularly interesting, like this study that is found up here, I can then take the highlighter and save this idea into my notebook on the side. And I know that I can always come back to this later. I also see metabolic engineering of oilseeds, which I don't fully understand what it means. So I can take the explaining highlighter and get an explanation of what that actually meant. The keyword box is at the heart of a successful search. No search is going to be perfect from the get-go, and it might take a few iterations. So you can come here, you can turn keywords off and on, you can add keywords, like so, and you can also exclude additional terms or force an inclusion with the Boolean search terms. So for example, I see a paper about robotics, which I definitely don't want in this search. So I'm going to add that keyword, redo search. Now I should only see the papers that I really wanted to see. The other really important feature that you might want to explore is search filters. You can narrow a range to a shorter time. You can sort by highest citations or prioritize newest literature. You can choose to prioritize papers that are free and have a PDF available. And even if you know what you're looking for, you can specify a name of an author. In each column, I can also scroll down to see what are the resources being used here. And if I see a paper that is really interesting, I can click it open. Here I can see that this comes from a reputable journal. I can bookmark it or add it to my list. And I can access the full paper, or if I'm in a hurry, I can just go through the AI key points to get the gist of what are we talking about here. If I find something interesting, again, I can take the highlighter and save it to my notebook. Okay, let's go back to the board. Another thing I can do is when I start finding papers that seem very interesting or relevant, I can add them to the workflow, which will instruct the AI to pay special attention to these particular papers as it's composing its response. Okay, let's say I have now gone column by column, read a few research papers, picked some that were really interesting in helping me combine all of the evidence I found to understand the topic I'm interested in. So I can scroll all the way to the back and click Analyze All Searches. Wonders will then read all of the materials that I selected for it by the filters or directly highlighting or saving the papers and give me a full summary of the key information. I can export this information as PDF or Word doc with reference styles that is suitable for me, or just the bibliography, so that I can continue working with this information I just found wherever the rest of my workflow is. Alternatively, I can also share this project with my colleagues or supervisors to come and comment, do searches, and work together. This is the basic process of using Wonders boards to conduct a literature review. Normally, this level of control and precision would take you hours, if not weeks, to get good information from. But our goal with Wonders is to take that process down to as short as 5 minutes for a rough review. All right, let's take a look at some of the other features that Wonders has to offer that might be interesting for you. You can create as many workspaces as you need. So if you come here and hit Create a Team, you can create a separate workspace for collaborating with others, or perhaps if you just have multiple projects and you're trying to separate those work streams. Just name your team and hit Create after selecting a company in case you have multiple. Once you are in a shared workspace, you can also manage team members and invite people to collaborate with you across multiple projects, which is very helpful if you are working with colleagues or perhaps a supervisor on your dissertation. To access other parts of Wonders, you can click the menu. You can switch workspaces here. You will also find your bookmarks and lists here. And if you want to go to your account settings, you can come here and make any changes that you need. For example, you can manage your plan from here and see your usage. And that's all. Hopefully this was a useful overview to help you get started with Wonders and make the most of all the features that we have. We are working very hard on making this a great research platform, so we welcome any and all of your feedback. If at any point you get lost, something is not working, or you've got any questions and suggestions, just hit the question mark here and you will always find me on the other end.